I want to remind you that the video you are about to watch has already changed your life. You will never be the same. You will never be able to unsee what you are going to see in this video. And you hear a lot in the reality creation and manifesting communities the idea that your reality, your world, your entire life experience is just an illusion, a complete and utter illusion. And they follow that with, that's why circumstances don't matter. Just ignore your 3D physical experience. It's just an illusion. But I really want to get clear here that although it is an illusion, it's not just an illusion. In other words, it's not that it's not real or reality, it's real. Your world, your reality, your entire life experience, let me be clear, it's real, it's reality. But it is a complete and utter illusion, and what we mean by that is that nothing is as it seems. Your world, your reality, your life experience is not what it appears to be. That's what illusion means. It doesn't mean that your reality, that your world, that your life, what you may be going through in your circumstances, it doesn't mean it's not real. It means that none of it is as it appears or seems to be, because it's changing in every moment, according to your assumptions, your beliefs, and definitions of who you are and what your reality is. You are a new you, occupying a new idea of your reality in every moment. There's no such thing as an old identity, old reality, or old thoughts, old beliefs. It's you, new in every moment. That's why when the ancients said, judge not according to appearances, their message wasn't that, oh, you shouldn't judge appearances, that's bad. The message was that you can't possibly judge appearances. Why? Because they're always changing. Do you see this? It's all real. It's all reality. The idea of complete and utter illusion means any continuity, any solidity, any finality, any connection to the moment before or the moment after is a complete and utter illusion. In other words, it's just your story. And you make up your story. You connect those frames or threads, you thread together those experiences, the moment before and after. There's just now. This one idea changes everything. Once you see this today, you won't be able to unsee it. I promise you. I want to start. There was a very powerful post on our Facebook group. This is someone that's been around the community for a while. I think I even recognize their name. Well, they told a story of a miraculous healing, their own healing of an eating disorder that they had. And I want to read it because it's a masterclass, in creating anything you want. This is what they say. I know firsthand from the biggest miracle in my life. I haven't told many people this story. I hope this story can help someone. Here we go. So he's reaching out to you with this story. He says, I healed my eating disorder with no doctors, no therapists, or any outside specialists. I did it all with I am. Wow. I am. I suffered from an eating disorder for 3 years. I put this into the perspective for one of those years. I only ate applesauce. So he's talking about one of those years, just to put this disorder in perspective. I only ate applesauce, peanut butter, and mashed potatoes and protein shakes. No solids. For at least 1 whole year. I added rice or veggies along the way. Let's add more perspective on how serious it was. I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'2". My weight went all the way down to 129 pounds. My lowest weight. And he says 129 pounds. That's not good. Think of, and he says that's not good. Think of this, 12 years ago, I was at my heaviest. When I was 18 or 19, I was 285 pounds. I was a big boy at one point. Before you or anyone asks, I'm at 170 pounds now. I'm healthy. I feel amazing. Back to my healing story. I suffered for 3 years. It was hell. I'll say it bluntly. Be Something Wonderful was there. Tom's videos were there. Every day, no matter how I felt, I watched. I kept the faith every moment. I remember the day it all just moved. Wow. I remember vividly having a dream, eating a bowl of chicken noodle soup, my all-time favorite. I remember it so vividly I fell back in love with food. I was always a foodie. The day my love returned, that love of food and flavors, yes. I can tell you, I eat normally, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I snack all day. My love of food is so strong, I'm so grateful. He wanted to add that. That day for dinner, as he tells the story, I ate a bowl of chicken noodle soup. And it just felt normal. I might have shed some tears, he said. You know, it was like the man at the pool. He's talking about the story of the healing at the pool of Bethesda that we've told many times. It was like the man at the pool. It was me with my bowl of chicken noodle soup, healed. There wasn't a timeline or a deadline. Even on the days that I was like, it was done, even on the days that I was like, I'm done with all of this, I still just knew. I got up, picked up my mat and walked. Talking about the story from Scripture. Get up, pick up your mat and walk. Be healed, right? In my case, I ate. I never gave up. I remember I stopped pursuing my career, gave up all my travel completely, and I was very affected by all of this. But now that's all back. He's traveling and doing his thing. I know who I am, he says. My health is great, so everything else is so great. Everything is possible, he says, I promise. Most of the time, it'll happen in a way you'll never expect it. It's all now. You'll experience it. Whatever it may be, you are and you will. It always comes in the most natural way. Health, specific person, travel, money, all of it. I promise you that. Well, very powerful story, and I appreciate you sharing that. This is what we're talking about today. He simply decided who he is out of all the infinite versions of who he is and what his reality can be and potential. He chose, he decided. And it must be, there you are is all that is. Pure awareness, pure potential. Every possible version of you, every possible reality. And in every moment, hear this, every moment it's a new you, a new reality, a clean slate, a fresh start from 0 point. No past, no future, just you here and now. This new version of you. And you're never the same version. You're never returning to a same version or a same reality. There's no such thing as old realities, old identities, old beliefs, or old stories. Every moment it's a new you. Every moment is a new reality. And you frame that experience from who you are right now. You get to decide. Any continuity, any solidity is a complete and utter illusion. It's just a story. And you can tell a new story in every moment because you're new in every moment. This is what Vadim Zeland from Tufti the Priestess, this is the guy that wrote Reality Transurfing. And I've quoted from his books quite a bit. He says, reality is what has never been and never will be and only is here and now. It's only here and now. This is what this particular creator discovered. Healthy. 170 pounds, 6'2", eating whatever he wants. Because he knows who he is. And in this current moment, you create the story of who you were and who you will be. In his case, he tells the story of who he was. He's no longer that one that had that disorder. Do you see? It's a new version of him. that's always been healthy. That's what he moved to. It's still all him in potential. There was that potential version of him that had the disorder, and he could tell that story from this new perspective of who he is now. That version of him that exists as potential, the one with the disorder, that experience brought him to a point to redefine himself in such a way that he's now the version of him that never had the disorder, creating a new past where he's always been healthy, a new future where he'll always be healthy. You control the frame, you control the story, you control it all. You don't, not the thoughts, feelings, and circumstances. Those are changing in every moment. You don't control that. You control the frame of who you are. Those are changing anyway. That's the illusion. You control what's real, you. You control what's real, you as reality. Who you were, who you are, who you will be, is always new, is always now, and is always here. Here and now. Your present here and now focus, assumptions, beliefs, definitions. In other words, who you are aware of being changes everything. Nothing is ever the same, and nothing is what it seems to be. Wow. In every moment you're new, you get to decide. You're never stuck. Nothing's fixed. Wow. And I want to remind you, your remembered past, this idea of your past, is not source or cause or evidence or proof of, and didn't create who you are here and now. Those imaginal images, which that's what a memory is, it's just an imaginal image, exists as potential within all that is and all that you are. Just as your imagined future exists as potential. But you create that all from the now moment. You create who you were and who you will be. Wow. Always new in every moment. Created from your present focus as a superimposed, infinite, limitless personality of you as all that is. Wow. The present manifested frame is simply manifested potential. It's changing in every moment. You're always potential. You're just pure potential, experiencing yourself. What you call reality has never been and will never be and is only here and now, as Vadim Zeland says. It's never and nothing is ever the same. The solidity and continuity and connection between the frame before and the frame after is a complete and utter illusion. In other words, it's never the same. It's always changing. It's the story you're telling of yourself right now creates it all. Just like this particular powerful story on Facebook. He created the idea of a version of him, an idea and potential that had this disorder, that brought him to a point to define himself in such a way that he's not even that version of him anymore. He created a new idea of who he was and who he will be. Wow. And this is what Vadim Zeland and Tufti continues to say. Reality exists only for a single moment, like a frame on a film roll, which moves from the past into the future. But that's the illusion. It's not what it seems. We create that. We thread together those frames and create a story. That's the linear illusion of the story. Every new frame is a new you, a new reality, a new potential. When he said, I just pick up your mat and walk, get up, pick up your mat and walk, as he quoted scripture in the healing of the paralyzed man at the pool of Bethesda. Well, when he says that, that's you in a new moment, completely healthy. Always have been healed, with no connection or continuity to the frame before or to the frame after. All of those only exist in potential as a story. In every moment, there's a 0-point identity of you. Perfect I am awareness. Whole, healed, complete, and fulfilled. Perfect in every way. This means that in any moment, only the immediate impression of reality, the illuminated frame, is ever real. Vadim Zeland and Tufti. In every moment, it's only this. New you, new here and now, new reality. Any continuity, solidity is just a manifested potential that's always changing. It's just a story that you're telling, and you get to tell the story. There's no story out there. You get to tell it. Everything else is a story. That's what connects the frames. Wow. Tell the story of how you know things to be as awareness of being. That you've always been healthy and healed and whole and complete. That the world is yours. Like this guy on Facebook, an incredible story. In other words, you are the only proof of your reality. There are no signs, evidence, or proof apart from you and your story. You are new. You are a new you. Pure potential to be anything, no matter what you're thinking and feeling and seeing or doing as your physical experience. That's what we mean by it's a complete illusion. That's always changing. The thoughts are changing. The feelings are changing. What you're seeing or doing is always changing. But who you are never changes. That's who you know yourself to be is who you know yourself to be. That's the proof. All that evidence out there is circumstantial. That's why they say circumstances don't matter, because it's not proof of anything. It's not source. It's not cause. It's not creator. It's not proof of anything. Only you and your story determines who you are and what your reality is. Wow. Nothing and no one is what it seems. It's all real. Hear it. But you are reality. It's all real. But you are reality. I am is the only reality. He told the story. No doctors, no therapists, no specialists. Just I am. This video already changed your life. You'll never be the same. You can't unsee this. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, join us on the Tom Kearin channel. We just released a big video there. More content coming. With great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.